Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is 3 Buck Reviews, and here are my thoughts, my opinions, my what I think over Future Man Season 2, which just dropped this weekend on Hulu, a show that I think, like, when it comes to just current state of affairs and regards to TV shows, probably shouldn't exist, but man, I'm glad that it does. Season 1 came out last year, and I devoured that thing in literally one sitting. And this one, I almost sat down and did it all in one go. Then I'm like, oh, wait, I have to actually go do other work, and I'll come back to it later. This picks up right after the events of season 1 with Josh or Juice being rescued from the prison cell he found himself in after being known as the world's deadliest terrorist. They called him Little Boy Blue, but Blew, because he took out a building thinking he was saving the future from the biotics, and it turns out that nope. They just they brought him forward in time to the year 2162 in order to figure out how to stop a new threat. He gets involved with the Pointed Circle, which is an underground resistance wing that is trying to stop the Mons, which is basically a mission to Mars that is run by Stu, played by Haley Joel Osment, or well, I should say the AI version of Stu, who actually created the cure and then uploaded himself as an AI construct, and then at this point is now immortal. He is throughout the entire season. I thought it was great. Tiger and Wolf are back, although this time they find themselves in the same timeline, but they go separate routes. Tiger, because she is a biotic, as we found out in the last season, she cannot go to the NAG, which is the new above ground society that is basically anti-technology and all about communal cluster living, which having 3 husbands and 3 wives in a polygamous communal setting, all while trying to raise children, is just one of the more interesting narrative choices that I've seen the show make, and the way that Wolf played it out was fantastic. I thought it was great. The emotion that came from that. Never mind the one episode that had it open with basically a complete recreation of Full House. Well, at least they used the theme song. So again, the show is very, very, very self-aware for what it is. Tiger, on the other hand, has a different journey where it takes her to investigate the Mons, to which case she encounters Stu, who remembers her from when she had encountered him that one time back in 2017 as Tyann. He's been in love with her ever since. And then she discovers that she's got, well, not really a clone, but this timeline's version of her, who Stu rescued from birth and then raised as a daughter. And that's, again, interesting because she's basically just a gigantic bitch the entire time, but you find out why later on. Josh, on the other hand, has probably the weirdest story of the entire season, and also the absolute least amount to do as a result of it. That was actually one of the things I felt was pretty dumb, was the season chose more to focus on Tiger and Wolf rather than it did Josh. And the show is called Future Man, but I guess I could apply to really any of them, honestly. Josh, this whole time around, was brought into the future, and then you had other Joshes that were being trying to be uploaded into the AI that Stu created in order to shut him down and take him out. And as a result, they want to use Josh as like kind of their ace in the hole to get in and take it out. All in the process, Josh just gets, he gets thrown around, he gets beat up, he escapes. He's out in the desert because the world has gone to shit. He's trying to survive by almost drinking his own piss. And then he ends up being captured at the NAG, and he ends up going into slavery, who almost gets assassinated by a number of people. And ultimately, just not much happens with him, I feel, throughout the season. Like that would be really worthwhile for the talent that is Josh Hutcherson. He's definitely the third wheel, whereas he was the main character in the first season. And I have a feeling that has a lot to do with the fact that the fan response to the first season has more to do with Wolf and Tiger just being the gruff, rough exteriors, and seeing them kind of deconstruct their characters a bit. Because we had a lot of that in season 1 towards the end, and then a lot of that again here in season 2, where Josh was just kind of there. In fact, all the times we kept going back to Josh as a character, they could have written him out of the whole show, and it wouldn't have really changed much overall. It really wouldn't have changed much. But as the show progresses, we discover that Pointed Circle is really not a terrorist organization. They are a resistance organization trying to stop Stu, who is not trying to send everyone to Mars. He is effectively trying to upload everybody to the internet, to his cloud, so he can control them and rule the virtual world. And then he can also deploy 12 million killbots to go and basically eviscerate the entire planet, just remove all life on the planet and keep everyone in the servers, therefore becoming the ruler of a gigantic floating rock through space. That's about it. That's his grand master plan, and everyone wants to stop him. And at the end, they basically create so many time rifts as a way to get through his defenses that it makes for a very interesting scene in regards to them coming out after destroying Stu and seeing just the bodies of all of their previous versions completely eviscerated by these killbots, or by these turrets. And then they get captured by time police, get brought to the year 31 something or another, in which case they meet Susan, played by Seth Rogen, who effectively tries to tell them that they're all going to be executed for their time crimes, but he's willing to let them, one of them go, or let two of them go if they turn on another one, leading to probably the most heartfelt moment in the entire season, which is when they're sitting there having dinner, they're talking about certain things, and they all have been given this poison that they can anonymously spray in somebody else's face when the lights go dark. And when the lights go dark, they actually all spray each other in the face, meaning they spray themselves, and they decide to sacrifice themselves for their friends, which is an interesting thing, considering that they're not really in a court. They're not really in a prison. They are in a TV show called The Decathlon, sponsored by Ultramax, which is a tampon. It stops your periods. Period. That's the show. That's where it ends. I have no idea if there's going to be a season 3. That's the rundown. That's the rundown of the show. There's a lot going on, but it's simple enough in that one. I had considered doing episode by episode breakdown, but really there's not a lot there plot wise to really kind of concern that. It is a progressing plot. It is meant to be watched like an 8-hour movie, and it's funny. It's not as funny as season 1, not as good as season 1, but still pretty damn funny and enjoyable. I liked that they kind of recognized that the show was going balls to the wall crazy, and they all just embraced it. I liked that they didn't shy away from the sex or the blood or the violence. I thought that was pretty funny because it feels like a single camera comedy, but they just took it to extreme lengths in many cases. But I don't know what they can do with it going forward. I have no idea where they're going to take the show. I don't know if the writers know where they want to take the show. Now that they've gone from 2017 to 2162 to 31 something or another, are they going to be able to go back in time? And if so, how are they going to handle that? Are we finally going to get the fact that, Wolf and Tiger in every timeline are basically destined to be together? And then who's Josh going to end up with? I mean, he almost fucked his mom in the first season, so there's that. They really played up the tropes in the first season, which is one of the reasons why I think the first season was funnier than the second. I think the second season embraced what it was, but as a result of embracing it, it also took itself seriously. And by taking itself too seriously, it really kind of like lost a lot of the jokes. Still told a good, interesting story with Haley Joel Osment giving a fantastic performance all the way through. Like, you're sitting there going like, man, why isn't Haley Joel Osment in more things? It was really solid. Stu was a very likable character. Like, you figure, you know he's the bad guy, but at the same time, you kind of understand it and you still like him in the role. And you get more time with him than you do with Josh. with Hutcherson, it feels like. And so again, it's one of those weird things that just didn't really make a lot of sense in regards to how to use Josh's character. If they kill him off in the next season, I don't really think the show, I mean, he's kind of the crutch of the show, right? He keeps them on point, but that's really about it. So I'm hoping for more character development with him next season. This season was really all about Tiger and Wolf, who I thought did a great job. And anytime we get like dedicated Wolf episodes where he just goes on a crazy bender or does a lot of crazy shit, I think the show really benefits from that. The only thing I didn't quite like with that was when he uses the time machine to take his cluster back to 1993 at O.J. Simpson's house. It's like, this is the safest place they can be. I mean, I get the joke there, but it really fell flat. Like, it really fell flat that he took off, went and did that, came back, was like, okay, we're good. The joke kind of blasted on me. But again, there were some hit or miss jokes on this one. My girlfriend watched the last like 4 episodes with me, and she thought it was the stupidest thing she's ever seen. So That was funny. I thought that was pretty funny. But anyway, those are just my thoughts, my opinions on Future Man Season 2. If you've seen it, let me know your thoughts. What's your favorite moment? Did you care for the show at all? Did you not like it? Curious, write them down. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day, and peace out. Hey, thank you so much for getting to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. If you guys want to get more up-to-date movie news and information, as well as breakdowns of trailers and other types of stuff, be sure to watch the other videos, click subscribe, and check back daily for more content from me. Again, my name is Matt Jarbo. This has been $3 Theater. Have yourself a great day, guys, and peace out.